And just be kind.
It's not like you're running around putting your lashes on at the time.
Yeah.
Hi.
No, I'm in the zone. I'm an actor.
Yeah.
This is an environment for people to make mistakes.
Oh,
what do I do with this? Where does it go?
Or I'm rushing, but I don't want to be rude, but it comes across as being rude.
Oh, actor's scary. Food makes everybody happy.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Apologies if we are squinting. Well, I know that I'm squinting, like I didn't want to say if, because like I am. But I'm here with Meg.
Hi!
Do you want to say a bit about yourself?
So, I'm Meg, I'm 22 years old. I am a stage management at Bristol. I'm a stage management student at Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. I'm in my final year. I'm about to leave. I'm specialising in film and television, so it's not musical theatre or theatre, even though I'm trained to kind of cover all of it, which I think is really important because it gives you a better basis and a better understanding of what's going on everywhere. So yeah, that's me and that's what I do.
As you can see, like from the title and my little intro, this is another Stagey Sunday video. I know a lot of them have been like vlogs and stuff, but I wanted to start, well, I want to start incorporating like guests and stuff like that on these videos, just to change it up and to discuss things that maybe don't get spoken about enough in theatre or in general. So yes, for this little episode we're going to be discussing, I feel like I need to kind of
backstory it a bit,
condense it.
Yeah.
We're going to be discussing like the whole performer techie divide that should kind of be a merge.
Yes, that is a good way of putting it.
Situation. And me and Meg got talking about this a few weeks ago, as I'm training in the MT performer side and obviously Meg's training in the more techie side, and how there can be quite like a lack of respect
for each other's jobs.
Yeah.
I think although it's the lack of respect comes from a lack of understanding. It's not being rude, it's just people don't talk about it and people don't get it. So it's weird. So coming from my point of view and doing tech for 3 years, so I've done a bit of lighting, I've done a bit of sound, I've done a bit of set design, I've done a bit of set painting, a bit of stage managing, I've done a bit of assisting stage managing. DSMing scares me, which is when you call the show, so you're the one to kind of press the buttons, which means walk through this door or don't walk through that door, which is terrifying because you're really in charge and stuff then. And I've found, well, we've both found that it's really hard when sort of other people don't get what you're doing. So for me with film and television, I might be, as an assistant director, saying to everybody, you know, could we get the actors in just to check the lighting, which is something we did because of where the sun's coming from. So you have to kind of be aware of those things, but actors, obviously you have your warm-ups, you need to get into the zone and stuff, and to have somebody constantly come on and be like, excuse me, can you do this, can you do that, it really messes with your head. Whereas for us it really messes with the organisation and the staff trying to do stuff and you're like, no, don't talk to me, I'm in the zone.
We don't experience a lot with the like technical stuff. We have a team at Bird who do a lot of that, and that's just something that we don't know a lot about. We kind of know the basics, as in we go through like a tech run, and then that's where we become sort of mute and other people take over, but that's all we really know. And I think because I've got like a few questions, but people have said, do we do any of that, and like do we get to experience that? And I was thinking about it when we were talking about it a minute ago. So for like some things that have gone on, they've said like, oh, we need someone to cover, is it a spotlight or something like that? Yeah. Something quite basic. Is that quite basic?
Yeah, so with a spotlight, if you've got a solo or a monologue and it's lit in a certain way, someone go, oh, I need someone to spot this. So I mean, you know about where you need to stand for a spotlight, because although there's a circle on the floor, you don't stand in the middle of it because it cuts your head off. But those conversations don't really happen.
No,
you just do it.
Yeah. And like, so there's times where we could be like the tiniest bit involved in the tech side, I think a few people who were injured and weren't in the show but still wanted to have a role, sorting out the mics and stuff like that. But we don't learn anything about that. Like, I mean, I've been there for 2 years and we haven't learned anything, so I don't know whether we learn anything next year, but we haven't done anything like that. And I think that's when you kind of lose
the connection. But I think it becomes really hard, because for you, say you leave Bird, you get a really high standing job where you've got people running around going, oh, can you come here, I need to put your mic in, can you do this, you know, we need you on set in 5. That's great, you know, you've hit the big time and people are running around after you. Whereas a lot of people go into, you know, Amdram, and you might be doing a touring show, at which point, you know, you can do your own makeup quite clearly, as I cannot do mine. But that's something you can do. If someone gave you a radio mic and went mic yourself up, it's like, what do I do with this? Where does it go? Literally. You know, even like parting it through your head, make sure it's sat in the right place, making sure you know how to project in order to get your voice out on stage. But projecting to camera, you know, but a lot of people don't, is very different. And I think if you're going to go on a tour, we're quite lucky, I guess, at the Old Vic. When you do a tour, you have to learn how to put the stage up and take the stage down to go to the schools, but it's all kind of collapsible. But that's sort of the only point. But we don't, although we get offered to come and do warm-ups in the morning with all the actors, it's like, oh, actors, scary. We don't really want to be involved in that, because I was like, oh my gosh, they're all so much fitter than I am. They, you know, do aerobics every morning. Whereas for us, it's like, oh, actually, we need to go and clean all the camera kit, or we need to go and check the book. We need to make sure props are in the right places. So that kind of communal time never happens unless it's sometimes social. So you get sitting out in the countryside. Unless it's kind of social, that it never really happens.
And it's a sort of like coming in and being like, oh, hi, and then just like going off to your business. And I think it's difficult as well to like fully have this like connection, because I think you're on a natural course, whereas we're not surrounded by people that are doing this as like a course. Because I know at some schools, and like a lot of schools, they have the more technical course and then the performance course. So I think you can get a better understanding of what you guys do, whereas we don't see it.
Do you have people come in to do the stuff, or are there students at Bird that are training?
See, I don't know. We have people there that are there all the time. Because there's always something going on. So we have people, but when are they actually like their job?
So they're not training to get a degree out of it. They are just people that are employed, and their job is to do the tech stuff. Oh my gosh. Wow, no wonder there's such a separation. Yes, because you'd never talk to them.
No.
Yeah, I guess with the Old Vic it's good because we've got both sides of the course and they kind of complement each other. But then for me personally, I've very much felt like I'm there for the actors, and I'm there to provide for them, because they're the ones that are on stage, they're the ones that people see.
And you know, you guys don't get like showcased.
No, not at all, which for some people that are techie and are quite quiet, that suits them. Me, not so much. But I mean, it was either like I was saying earlier, either the Oscars or the BAFTAs, you know, you will always see people, you will always see the actors, best actress, best this, best that. How often do you see best edit, best sound design, best lighting design, best camera op? You know, I don't think best camera op is a thing. Wait, what am I? There is definitely a word for it, but it's gone from my head right now. But yeah, you don't ever see those things. They never get put out there because it's always, oh, you know, their performance was great and I want to go. I know, but if that was a continuous shot, that person would have had to have held that camera and, you know, filmed that and got all of those angles in one go without screwing it up, and they get no praise for it whatsoever.
And it is such a team effort. Like, I'm not like, this video isn't sort of like taking a side
or to slate anybody. It's to bring to the surface the issues, so next time someone stood on stage or in a tech run, someone goes, actually, can you do that? Someone goes, well, actually, do you know what? I'll do it. I'll come and help out.
And like the fact that we don't learn about it is not, I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all, because it's just, there's so much to learn on my course. We do not have time to do anything else. Like there is no time to learn anything else, and that's like we're not training to do that. We're not training to do what you do, because that's for you and that's for you. But we're kind of discussing just the like mutual respect to have for each other, and it is a team effort. Like it is a complete, like without each other the whole thing wouldn't work. You wouldn't get paid and you wouldn't survive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
like,
if you didn't have the techies, you know, the actors would have nowhere to perform, and you wouldn't be lit, so nobody would see you, and you wouldn't have any mics, so nobody would hear you. Yeah, if we didn't have you guys, we'd have nothing to light, we'd have nothing to light, we'd have nothing to mic up, we'd have no set. So it's, I think until you actually were to take one away from the other, you'd have no idea the gravity behind how much each people do.
Yeah. And it's also just the like simple things, like having a conversation or just being polite. Like for a performer, you're thankful for you guys for doing what you do, otherwise we wouldn't have a show or whatever. And I find it's so rude, and when people just expect
it to happen and to unfold. Yeah, but then you have to have that mutual respect as well for the way that people have been trained, and you know, for you guys to have your warm-ups and to get into the zone and do that. But what I find really hard is, instead of people going, oh, excuse me, do you mind me just having a minute? I just need to sort myself out. I'll be with you in 10, and then I can mic check and I can do this. You say, oh, would you mind just sitting in so I can get your lights? And people go, no, I'm in the zone. I'm an actor.
See,
don't talk to me.
I've never experienced
hang on
that.
a minute. Even to the kind of subtleness of people walking around with headphones in. I don't know if that's just a pet peeve of mine. And it's like, okay, you may be listening to an emotive piece of music because that's what you need. Cool, no worries. But just say, hi guys, hope you're all okay. Just going to put my headphones in. I need to sort myself out. Rather than walk in on set, headphones in, don't speak to anybody, sit in a corner, because it makes it really unapproachable to be like, oh, we really need to mic you up, you know. We've got a schedule to stick to. It's really hard. Yeah.
See, when you say like that about like the whole warm up, getting into the zone thing, I think because we don't really do performances as in like actual shows. I mean, we do like the summer show, but it's kind of that's a different thing. Whereas, as in like in-house performances, we don't really get to do a lot of those until next year. So I think that's when we'll experience the more like actually putting on a show and how that kind of works. I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, with the like whole warm-up thing, I don't know, I haven't heard of that, and maybe like I'll experience more examples of that next year, because like we haven't been taught. I mean, obviously we get told to warm up, but I feel the shows that I have done not in college, so like when I was doing more like Amdram before I went away, the thing that I found was it was so like everything was a rush, like there was never any time, and I don't know if that kind of comes across like, oh, you need to do your makeup, or, and I know sort of the acting side's kind of different, because it's not like you're running around putting your lashes on at the time and like doing up your heels or whatever, but yeah, because I feel like that can also be lost as well. The sort of, oh, I'm rushing, but I don't want to be rude, but it comes across as being rude. And
I think it's hard because nobody wants to waste anybody's time. So show calls and stuff are obviously done in a very specific way with, you know, your 5s, your 10s and everything. But before that, I mean, so we were doing shows, and the thing is, it's different in every drama school, and I've only obviously got experience from being at Bristol or Vic. So we did Dracula in the tunnels underneath Bristol Temple Mead Station, which was amazing. It was hard work, it was stressful because it was kind of live action and the audience walked through the tunnels, and so the health and safety and keeping people safe, but having actors on and off and kind of no green room space and everybody being on top of each other. But I mean, our shows we'd do like a 7:30 performance, but we'd have to be in, you know, some days at 8 o'clock in the morning for a 7:30 performance that night to sort everything out. You know, if something had gone wrong the night before, we have to go in and fix it. If there's props that are missing, you know, all your ASMs are looking for that one hairbrush that somebody hasn't put back on a prop table, which is a huge thing. People putting things back on prop tables, just, that's a completely different vlog altogether. But it's that kind of, you know, you guys may be all doing auditions in the daytime, so actually you've been up since 8 o'clock, but we don't catch up and see each other until the 5 o'clock show call. But you have no idea that we've been in already since 8 o'clock in the morning, resetting everything.
For us and
for you guys to be able to do your show, but then you guys have been off doing other bits for other stuff. And so it's really hard to kind of understand the amount of hours everybody puts in. Oh, we have a visitor. Hi.
Oh, wow.
Kisses. Right, Pop, you're going to come and sit down and be in the video? Yeah. Come on then.
Oh.
Lay down. Lovely to have like stress pats on shows and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be so helpful.
That would be amazing.
So helpful. And that's the thing, I think people get really stressed out all the time. You know, it's such a high, intense environment that even kind of speaking to people, you're a bit like, oh, you know, I've got a million and one things going around my head. The last thing I want to do is try and make friends.
Yeah, no, I think that, definitely. I was thinking when you were talking, before I went to Bird, I did a year at Filton College. Yeah, it was what it was. But, and we had actually a lot more contact with the tech team because we did like a lot of performances. And I was just trying to think of like my experiences with that. And they were doing their BTEC diploma, thing in that subject. So they obviously were doing a lot of the tech stuff, which was nice because it was people our age doing work on our show. So it kind of, we got to speak to them and have like friendships with them. I think people forget, like, you have the same hours as us.
Yeah.
It's like, it's hard work. There's like a lot of responsibility in that area. And again, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I'm just trying to think of like my experience with like a tech team.
It's a learning collaboration. I mean, whenever I've been first AD, so the first assistant director, this is going into film and television. So I am the one that kind of runs the floor. I'll speak to the director. So the director will deal with the actors and, you know, I want you to feel this emotion, and when you walk over here, make sure you turn slightly to the left to get in the shot. Whereas I'm the one that he talks to me first, and I go, okay, cool, right, camera, just so you know, the actors are going to walk this way around the table now. We just need to make sure we get it from that point of view. But one thing I've always said to everybody in every production meeting when the actors get together and the techs get together, everybody's learning.
Yeah.
This is an environment for people to make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is getting paid to do this. Nobody is at the point where they're above anybody else here. We all come to this on a level playing field. And I don't know if that happens so much during sort of like pre-show warm-ups as well. I mean, it was nice at the Odd Vic because when they used to do their dance warm-up at the start, we'd join in as well.
Oh, really?
Which was really lovely.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, not that we really knew what we were doing. There was a lot of star jumps going on and sort of kind of some push-ups, which I avoided. Oh, God. I'd broken my leg again.
Right.
So that was really lovely, but that was kind of the get-together. But from experience, from being an extra on a couple of bits and bobs, when somebody remembers your name, it makes the world of difference. It really does. Or when somebody comes up to you, shakes your hand and goes, hi, by the way, my name's Meg, nice to meet you. What do you do? Yeah,
I think it's like that with general life, isn't it?
You're right, we're good.
I think it's like that day to day. It's like when someone remembers you and says, oh yeah, so I remember when you said that, or like, it's just decent.
Yeah.
it's a decent thing. And I think it's, I don't know, I've never really done like a professional job, but I can imagine it's different. And like you hear people say about like celebrities, oh, they came around and thanked everyone.
Yeah.
And that was so nice to get that sort of, not praise, but just saying thanks.
The recognition.
Yeah.
And also people, this industry, your reputation will precede you by a mile.
Yeah.
So don't, you want to kind of start off on the right foot and be remembered for being that person that was, oh, this, that. But also, there's kind of a weird expectation for people to stay in their bubbles.
Yeah.
In terms of, so I did one job. I became really good friends with one of the girls that was kind of like, she wasn't one of the main actresses, but she wasn't far off. So it was from Midsummer Dream. She was one of the fairies.
Cool.
And she was lovely, and we got chatting, and it got to lunchtime. She was like, oh, come back to the caravan with the rest of the girls and have lunch with us. And the person who was the third AD, who was in charge of the extras, was like, Meg, you can't go. What do you mean I can't go? And she's like, there's a hierarchy, and you can't go. And I was like, that's mad. Like, that's ridiculous.
What?
And a lot of people kind of go, oh, you can't talk to the main actors and the main actresses. You are here as an extra on the kind of bottom line. You can't approach them, but they can approach you.
Yeah.
And I get that is kind of an industry standard.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to change.
Yes, that's... Okay, we're back on.
We're back on. Yeah, I think it will only change when people like you and I, who are starting off and getting into the industry, go, this needs to be something different. But also trying not to step on anyone else's toes, because the last thing you want is, an actor going, oh, I've just gone off to make 10 cups of tea for everybody, and you're like, that's great, I really appreciate that, but I needed you on stage.
Yeah, and also that's maybe not necessarily their job.
No.
Like someone else might have been doing that, or,
So always ask. I think don't ever be afraid to ask people for stuff. And if you don't get something, or you want to know more about something, if you are an actor or an actress and you don't know why somebody has suddenly put 2 spotlights on you instead of 1, just say, look, just wondering, why is that coming from there and there? Do I need to be stood here? Don't just kind of assume, even though you're trying to be helpful, because sometimes it's just not helpful.
What's that? Oh, it's nice now the sun's gone down. I feel like
you can see each other.
Yeah, that's it really. It's just kind of, I don't know, I feel it's just like an interesting, I mean, some people won't find this interesting at all, and if you're one of those people, then you probably haven't made it to this point in the video.
You've got bored of that.
Yeah. But I think especially for like us performers, it's just something that, and I mean, I know it's different for all schools, but just something we don't talk about, and it is important because it is a team effort, and that's the way that
the industry is. The industry is a team effort as well.
Yeah.
I hope that you get a lot of questions asked about this, because it means people are kind of engaging with it and going, well, actually, do you know what, I've never thought of that before. And just to make people think.
For us, it's like we've, I don't know, spent however many weeks on this show, so when it kind of comes down to performing it, it's like we're finished in a way.
At the Odd Vic, we've done a couple of shows a term, but you'll kind of get put on one show. So term started in January, and I think we were performing for 10 shows in March, and from the beginning of January we were sourcing props.
Oh really?
It's like a good sort of 6 weeks, and that's just for kind of a small theatre school show. Lighting plans, lighting designs, DSM who will come in with the book and sit in your rehearsals, because we need to know where on stage you're going to walk, so we can light it in the right way.
See,
and
I've had experience of that
in the right way.
As in, like, I know what you're talking about there.
Yeah. So that's well, that's nice, but the DSM gets to spend a lot of time with the actors, which is great, and that's kind of the actors go, oh, I know you've been sat watching me for 3 weeks, and it's like they have, but also there's somebody upstairs who's changing all your lights and trying to work out how many watts and the voltage that we can put through a theatre, and there's somebody trying to work out how the literal technicalities of putting 2 speakers like this putting 2 speakers like this will affect the audience.
Right.
You know, people are then building sets in a different warehouse. That's then all got to be glued together or screwed together and then painted. So that needs to happen way before. So it's got time for paint to dry. We've then got to get that into the theatre. When you guys walk in, you kind of go, oh wow,
yeah,
this set's amazing. And it's like, oh my God, it's been like 8 weeks of horrendously horrible labour, you know, the paint's flaked off, this has gone wrong, that's blown up. You know, seeing the look on your faces when you walk in and are just like, wow, I've just been transported to this world, is great, because we go, do you know what, I've done my job right. If you are we good? We're good. Okay. You know, you've walked in, you've transported yourself to a completely different world.
I love that feeling.
And we've gone, do you know what, if it's worked for them, they feel like they're in the right environment, we're gonna get a good performance. And we have to dismantle all of that. And one huge thing that maybe the actors don't see of it, and one issue for me in the industry, is hardly anything gets recycled.
Really?
Yeah. You've kind of got wood, you've got screws, you've got paint, you've got this. So if you think about how many shows go up that aren't permanent shows or touring shows, most of that just gets chucked in a skip. Yeah. And it kills me.
Yeah, I bet.
But you've got a time frame to get out the theatre, and they don't care that you want to take every single screw out. It is literally take a crowbar to it, get it out the door, it's in a bin. You know, by next week you have to build something else. Yeah. It's in, it's out, and usually it's, you know, you finish that show on the last night, you guys go off, well, appreciate drinks, yeah, this is great, and we're all in there till 4 AM with crowbars trying to pull this set apart. Yeah. So that's again another opportunity that would be like, oh, you know, we could have all got together. Why don't you come? And we go, oh yeah, you know, we'll come, but it might be 4 o'clock in the morning before we even get there. At which point everybody's, you know, gone to bed because you've worked really hard all week. I think there's very limited opportunities unless somebody goes, come on, this is what we're doing. Yeah. Let's get together. It's really hard, and I think it's easier being in a school because you've had the whole experience together. But to have a tech team that are working in-house tech team, you won't get the chance to go, oh, do you know what, it'd be really nice to catch up and have a drink. You are attracting the waspy bee things today because you're so fresh in your white
my white, they come from a flower. Yeah, and I think some people watching this will be like, but it's work or it's a job, like you're not supposed to make friends. And we're not saying that, like we're not saying that everyone should be the best of friends, because it doesn't work like that, and there's not enough time or there's not enough this or that. I think the reason why I wanted to do this video was, I think it's interesting for one to know what goes on, and also just finding that respect for each other and that communication that can get lost. I think that's the whole point of this video.
Shake someone's hand, introduce yourself, and just be kind. People get stressed at work and it's so easy to get absorbed by it all, but just remember at the end of the day that everyone's a human being and everyone wants to do the best for everybody else. So just introduce yourself. Yeah. Say hi, be kind. And bring biscuits. Always bring food. Honestly, the amount, it's great. You walk on set and someone's like, I brought chocolate biscuits. Or like everybody will feed people. Food makes everybody happy.
There's people asking me like what I want to do when I leave, but that's another video. A few people asked like, do we do anything techie? But we don't really.
When you have a look at, you know, the course you want to do, also check out the other courses, because you're still networking, and the amount of girls, you know, the costume girls someone may go off and, I don't know, work on James Bond, and they'll go, oh God, no, we've, you know, cast this person, they're completely wrong. You never know who's going to turn around and go, oh, do you know what, I went to drama school with somebody that would be great for that. Why don't you audition them?
Yeah, it can work like that.
Oh, here's another one. Oh. You come at the wrong time, we finished. We have finished. We're just going to fight each other here.
But yes, so we now have 2 dogs. Oh wait.
Gucci, come here. Come on. There we go. We've now got 2 dogs.
Yeah, we are finishing this video with 2 dogs. Yeah, that is it from us. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'm sure Meg will be happy.
Yeah, drop me a message on Instagram. It's my Oh, thanks, puppy. So my Instagram is Meg Aberhope. But I'll leave it. I'll pop it in the bits below.
Yeah. And Meg may potentially be starting a channel. It's kind of like maybe in the works.
We're thinking about it.
Leave us a comment down below. Yeah, I think we're gonna end it there. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for being on my channel, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye. You are not helpful.